We do want to begin in the hockey world. The East Coast Hockey League has now suspended player Jacob Panetta for making an apparent racist gesture at fellow Canadian player Jordan Subban. Now, a warning here, the following may be distressing for some viewers, but take a look right now. Cell phone video taken of the incident. Subban can be seen in the red jersey being led away from a scuffle by an official. As Subban turns his back to skate away, Panetta in the white jersey appears to raise his arms to his sides and makes a gesture. Now, Subban is accusing Panetta after the game of imitating a monkey. Game officials have given Panetta a misconduct penalty for inciting, which includes obscene gestures. Now, Jordan Subban tweeted his reaction to the incident after the game. He said, quote, "More like Panetta was too much of a coward to fight me," he says. And as soon as I began to turn my back, he started making monkey gestures at me. So I punched him in the face multiple times, says Subban again, and he turtled like the coward he is. Well, for reaction to this, we are reaching out right now to retired NHL hockey player Georges Laraque. Georges, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, I want to begin with your tweet about this incident because you have gone on social media. You asked the question, when is this ever going to end? Suspend that kid for life. Talk to us about your initial reaction, your reaction now after seeing the cell phone video circulating.
Well, the thing is, with Boko, what happened with Boko Imama was just a couple days ago, where the guy got punished 30 games. So this went around the world. In the hockey world, it's a small world, so I'm pretty sure every players knew about it. So now that you're just composing what just happened and how, we think that, hockey is going the right direction, suspension or stiffer. A couple days later, another racial incident happened. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. When I saw that, even though it's another league, ECHL, which is a professional league too, I was like, that's why I'm wondering, when is it going to end? Because 30 games is not enough. What's going to be the next step? That's why I'm like, you know what? This cannot be going on like this and stuff. So just suspend the guy for life. Get him out of the league. Show everyone that you don't want this anymore, that in 2022, we don't want that. Like with 30 games, it's a step the ECHL did, but now pressure is on ECHL because back then it was 1 or 2 games, but now that they did 30 games, now they know the pressure's on them. They have to react with this. And to be honest with you, I know you got suspended indefinitely, but I'd be surprised to see him play another game this year.
Mm-hmm. Now, I hear you asking a question, when is this going to stop? And I hear the outrage in your voice at this incident. But are you surprised? You yourself faced racism as you played hockey. Are you surprised this is still going on?
Well, yes, I'm surprised. I faced most of the racism that I faced was when I was a kid, when I played minor hockey. In the NHL, I got one small little incident. But, I can't say that in the NHL there's a racial problem in there, but now you're looking at hockey, like professional hockey. It's not just like the NHL, like they have stiffer suspension and now they work so hard to help other leagues, like to also make sure that there's respect. And the NHL is the bar. And now the AHL, they took a stand behind Boko Imama and ECHL has to take a stand. But I can't believe that in 2022, with everything going on, with all the protests, with the COVID thing brought back like the inclusion stuff, with make sure we respect like people that are homosexual, people from different sexes, make sure that we're all equal. And with everything that's been going on in society, everything what we've talked about, the fact that this incident like this happened, I'm almost wondering that player that did this, does he live on the moon? Man, are you watching what's going on out there in the society? To do something else like this, thinking that it's gonna go okay, it's gonna be unpunished? Like, are you kidding me? If you can't see what's going on and you can't respect, your peers, the player you're playing against, then you have no business playing hockey. You have no business playing professional hockey because you know what? If you can't respect others, then stay at home and live in a bubble. Because to me, that didn't make sense.
Now, of course, this doesn't happen in isolation. There will be kids of all different ethnicities that will see this. What do you say to children of color, to racialized kids, as they try and enter the sport and still have to deal with racism? What do you say to them?
I can't say to them that, there's not going to be any more incident because that would be a lie. So what I would say to these kids is that, play the sport that you love. And there will be small incidents there and there, but you know what? We need you to pursue and play the sport that you love, because one day you will be a role model to other kids that are going to want to play that sport. Because the more of you that's going to play this sport and is going to love it, the more minorities that's going to be playing hockey, the more minorities will be more comfortable playing hockey as their dream, knowing that, you know, there's many other kids like him that made it, that you know, that were a role model for them, and then they will be encouraged. Because if kids are afraid to play hockey and they don't, and that's exactly what we're doing with the NHL Inclusive Committee, is that inspire kids to play the game that they love despite everything that is going on. And then we try to reinforce rules to make sure that all the kids, everybody feels respected. So that's why incident like this that happen, it's not just bad for Subban, but it's bad for all the kids, the parents that are watching. Because you know what? If a parent and a minority kids is watching an incident like this and is like, I was considering putting my kids into hockey. No, you know, there's still racism in hockey, so I won't. Already that hockey is labeled as a white man's sport. Incident like this are not helping. So the broad scenario of all this is no good. And that's why I'm so mad about this, because, you know, it's a step backwards every time we see an incident like this, but we can't be discouraged by this, because now there's rule, and now I can't wait to see how the league's going to step up for this, to give an example, to make sure this never happens anymore. But you know what? I hope that it'll still be alive one day, that every year we won't see any more incident like this.
Georges Laraque, thank you for this. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me.
Well, in the course of our conversation, we did get some reaction now. This is coming in from Jacob Panetta's team, the Jacksonville Icemen, and they have released Panetta from the organization. In a statement, it reads as, in part, our core values as an ownership group include one love and zero tolerance for racism or any forms of hate against any group whatsoever. Though the investigation, they say, and review is ongoing at the league level, the Jacksonville Icemen will be releasing the player involved effective immediately, and will continue sharing our love of community and hockey. Again, that is in part the statement that we're now getting from the Jacksonville Icemen.